Hi there. Just a quick video. One of the last learning points that we talked about on the 19th during our training was about helping the audience move according to an emotional journey. And if our whole objective is to get them to enroll or call us to have a consult, then the three emotions that we want them to experience is number one is vulnerability, two concern, and three is urgency. And if we can get them to feel this, then there's a high chance of them actually taking us and agreeing to our call to action, which is calling us up, scanning QR code and making an appointment. Okay, so we want them to have this journey. How do you do it? If we look at one of our presentations, which was done during our training, which was, I think Johnny did that, and it was on Malaysian airport cybersecurity. So we mentioned that we're going to start off dramatic, start off with the Malaysian airports slide first. Now, now I'm going to make a slight change. Malaysian airport slide will be number two. Slide number one will be on statistics of cybercrime. So we start off with statistics of cybercrime, and we say that, hey, this was happening in the world, because of digitalization, cybercrime is growing and it's costing companies so much money, it's growing at such a drastic rate, so you talk about it. And what's going to happen is the audience is going to look at it and they're going to say, yeah, okay, I understand, okay, but so what? And then you end that slide number one by saying, most companies assume that, they will never be a target until it actually does happen to them. So let's look closer to home within Malaysia. And this is something that happened just last year. Then you put slide number two. Slide number two is there you have Malaysian airports. However, you remove the name Malaysian airports, you remove the logo, you just have the picture of the building as the background and some facts there. And the whole purpose is you want to tease them so that when they look at it, they say, I think I know that, and then you talk about it. This happened last year at this particular date, and when this happened, everything it caused big havoc. People wouldn't get where they wanted to go. And as you talk about it, what happens is the audience will listen and say, "Yeah, I think isn't that Malaysian airports?" And then you can even mention, it went to the extent that even the Prime Minister said, no, we will not pay whatever the quote, just find out and put it in. And the whole purpose is to hook the audience, and then the audience starts, hey, I think I know lah. And then what you do is you ask them the final question for sign two. Do you know which Malaysian organization this was? And then they'll say, oh yeah, this Malaysian airports. Well done. And just imagine, then you move slide number three. Slide number three is you have a list of the normal security systems when it comes to, the computer systems, whether it's, firewalls, whether it's certain policies. So we have a list, and you say, hey, as far as Malaysian airports was concerned, it was just another day. Things was going on as usual. They already had all their security systems up, and they thought everything was fine until they found out they were compromised. And when you talk about that and you ask them, look at this list, you know, they just the same list like what most of us have. And if they had that and we have that, we are nothing special. It can happen to them, it can happen to anyone. So this is where you lean into that and you want them to realize that, a company like Malaysian Airport, they are all system A. All this we also have, and yet still gonna compromise, still gonna the ransom. And then you explain to them that what's important when you look at this is not the attack, the ransom announcement. But what's important is what was happening behind the scenes, you know, before before anyone realized that there was a ransom. Because when it comes to cyber attacks, it's different from someone attacking a house. When someone breaks into your house, the alarm goes off, the lights goes off, you confront them, and then they run away. Okay. When it comes to cybercrime, it's slightly different because by the time you realize, when they announce that there's a ransom, it just means that they've already been into your system long before that. They've gone through it, they've know it inside out, your system has already been compromised way before that. And by the time you realize when the ransom is announced, it just means that it's already way too late already. And by the way, for Malaysian airports, um, CSP together with partners, we were the ones that they called, and we went in and we were the ones to help resolve the issue. for Malaysian airports. And then you mentioned these are things that we did, A, B, C, D. Okay. Again, the whole purpose of this is to show them that systems can be vulnerable, and you've got to take it seriously because um, uh, when it happens, it just means that your system is already been hacked way before you realize. And then you mentioned that CSP were the ones who, together with partners, came in and we helped resolve the issue. And that is why today, CSP, we're offering a special consult where you just have to scan our code and call us, contact us, and what we'll do is we'll come in free, no obligation, free cybersecurity risk assessment of your company. Because the one question you got to ask yourself is this: if a threat is already in your system, how quickly would you like to know? If a threat is already in your system, how quickly would you like to know? So again, you leave them with that question, and the whole purpose of the question is to get them to panic a little bit. If a threat is really in the system, it means now, how quickly would you like to know? Yeah, I'd like to know immediately. So that's where the urgency comes in. So if you do it, and this is just an example of how you could do it, but if you do it this way, what happens is the entire presentation is all skewed towards getting them to number feel vulnerable. Remember when they came in, they're really complacent. They're really not just coming in, just listen, and then they're confident about themselves. So you get them to realize it could happen to Malaysian airport, it could happen to us. So they start feeling vulnerable. And then you talk about the concern. The concern is it's not having all these security systems, because you can have all this, but yet you're gonna hack. Because these systems look after the outside, make sure that people don't come in. But if they're already inside, now the question is, can you see what's going on in your system now? And most organizations can't. And this is the biggest issue. It's not when the ransom is announced, it's way before that. That's when, that's the most important time that you've got to protect your system. And that's where they start to realize, hey, yeah, I didn't think of that. And then you talk about, we were the ones who came in, CSP together with partners, we resolved the issue, and obviously we saved the country 10 million US dollars, but now we're here today is to offer you an opportunity for you to review your security system. And it's a QR code. Just contact us. We'll come in, no obligation, to give you a better view and better visibility of system, so you know what's the next step, how to move forward. And then you leave them with that question. If your system, if there's a threat already in your system, how quickly would you like to know? If there's a threat already in the system. So that means it's now. If the threat is already in the system, how quickly would you like to know about it? So that's where we put in the urgency. Now, when you leave that question, they're going to be thinking, yeah, I like to know, and we've got this QR code, and chances of them scanning and then giving you a call will be much higher. So that's one way of doing the presentation. Again, I on other videos we'll talk about the other presentations that we witnessed during our training. But these are some ideas that you can definitely take on board and use them. And I hope this helps. I look forward to the other videos that I'll be posting. Have a great week and see you soon. Bye bye.